Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Pyro coming at you with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Deadpool 2 and things that I didn't really like. Don't get me wrong, I love the movie as a whole. It was an amazing movie. Side note, this shirt is absolutely crazy. It's like a Hawaii Deadpool infused shirt that I got from Fox because I've got mad connections. Also, this video is going to be full of spoilers because I'm talking about the movie in depth. So I just thought I should warn you guys about that. And in no particular order, number one, the story. I enjoyed the story for what it was. It wasn't as cohesive as the first Deadpool. It felt like it was just trying to do too much and not quite succeeding in it. It just felt like a bit messy. And speaking of messy, the CGI for, again, spoiler alert, Juggernaut was, at best, it looked like it belonged in a PS3 cutscene. It was just very shaky and shoddy, and it was very jerky, and it just kind of threw you out of the element of disbelief. The suspension of disbelief, and it was just like, I know this is CGI. While I liked his character, what he had, it reminded me of the X-Men, the animated series. Just the look of it just really hurt my feelings overall when you saw his movement. When he was fighting, it was nice, but the walking was just very jerky. And speaking of the Juggernaut, one of my favorite things about the Juggernaut isn't actually really and truly canon to his character. It's the dubbing of him from the excellent thing that happened, 12, 13 years ago, where he goes around saying, and they didn't have it. I mean, they even had it in X-Men 3, and they had Vin Joe spewing that line out.
Don't you know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch!
Because it was famous at that time, it was really popular, and they watched that and they put it in there in X-Men 3, and it got me laughing, but that's pretty much one of the few things I liked about X-Men 3. Now, going from that, I really wanted more Cable and Deadpool interactions. The run of Cable and Deadpool in the comics is my favorite version of Deadpool, and probably my most favorite version of Cable as well. And the fact that they didn't have as much interaction as they really could have in the movie, it really upsets me because you could have had an excellent buddy cop type movie. I'm happy with what they did, but a buddy cop movie was really what I was dreaming for in this. Something very much like Lethal Weapon or even just Hot Shots, which is probably more in line with the wacky stylings of Deadpool. And now that we're talking about Cable, the thing that I guess you could say I really didn't like about him was the fact that he is known as Cable's father in this universe. While in the comics, yes, he is a family member of hers. However, he's actually just her cousin. Sort of weird. It's a weird timeline thing where they are cousins. I don't know how to explain it. It's weird, but they are cousins in the comics. And the teddy bear is hers in the comics, but I guess for the movie, they made it more relatable as opposed to, I'm just trying to protect my cousin, I'm trying to protect my daughter. What I hope for the future of the Deadpool franchise in itself and the overall arcing X-Men franchise is that they don't change Hope's character too much to just suit Cable and this particular movie. And speaking of skewing characters, the timeline in Deadpool is a little bit weird. I guess it does work because it is Deadpool. The cameo, again, spoilers, for the X-Men that they've got within the Deadpool mansion is amazing. I loved it. However, they use the young versions of these characters. I believe they had Young Beast, Young Quicksilver, and Young Professor X. There was one more who I can't remember, but the fact is they're young. I guess it made it really easy for them to use these characters as this was during the filming of Dark Phoenix. The problem that they've got with the timeline now is that the young X-Men are, as the latest, are in the 90s, and this movie is effectively set now. I guess you could say, yes, it is Deadpool. It makes sense as to why they would have it there. So it does work in context for Deadpool, but outside of this, how are they really going to explain the timeline again after they sort of fixed it with X-Men Days of Future Past? There's no elaboration on the Essex Corps. We do see them in X-Men Apocalypse in one of the end credit scenes, with them coming out to get the DNA of Wolverine. We were really hoping that we'd see more of that in the Logan movie, which we didn't. Nathaniel Essex does eventually become Mr. Sinister, the henchman, the lead henchman of Apocalypse. So having that character in this franchise would be amazing because he has strong connections to Cable as well. However, I felt that they did not use the Essex name the way they could have. And finally, there was no unicorn in the movie. There was no unicorn. I wanted the unicorn. At least I didn't see one. However, what I do have is this. This is a unicorn. Again, I got the hookup from Fox because of my connections. So we've got a unicorn here. You see that? He looks crazy. He's not all rainbow colored like he is in the posters, but it's still a unicorn and I've got it, but there wasn't one in the movie. So with that being said about things that I didn't like, again, I must tell you that I did love this movie. It is an amazing movie. If you like the first one, you will enjoy this one as well. Guys, I'm sorry, I still don't have a sign off, so peace.